Not blue.
Not blue.
But yellow.
Together they make...
I don't know.
Really?
Blue and yellow?
Green.
I don't know that.
Really?
Who the f*** are you? How about I write a book about all things you don't know? Boom, watch fam. What is up, watch fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
I am Michael. I am not the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
This is part 2 of a series that we started, I think last week. I don't know when we're releasing these, but probably last week.
Yeah.
About a lot of things. We're covering a lot of news, as we generally do. Watch news, talking about yellow dials. We're talking about Artisans De Geneve and their blue watches. And watch news.
Yep.
But we're also integrating a couple of stories about stolen watches this time. On separate occasions, we'll do different stories about different things.
Yeah.
So at the end of today's episode, I'm going to tell you guys a story about when I was robbed by a 14-year-old for basically I think it was like $3,300. It was at a time that I only owned about $9,000.
I was going to say, you only had $3,400.
He stole a third of my net worth at the time, you know?
Yeah.
It was nuts. So we'll get into that story later.
Yep.
Let's start off with wristwatch check, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, also check out part 1 if you haven't seen part 2 yet.
Yeah, duh.
Okay, anyways, I am wearing my trusty dusty, as I said prior, my Rolex Datejust.
Yep. Michael doesn't wear this when we go. So we go on a lot of shoots.
Yep.
You know, shoot days when we do for brands. We have Longines coming up.
Yes.
Which is going to be very exciting. Michael's going to be going into a Cessna.
Yes.
I got really excited about the whole Cessna thing, and then I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to go into a Cessna. My dad goes, don't do that. And I said, what? He's like, Michael will go.
Yeah.
I said, what? He's like, it's dangerous. And I love Michael, but only one of you has to go.
Yeah, right.
I was like, that's a really dark way of looking at this. Do you think Michael's going to die? He's like, no.
But if he was going to die...
You both shouldn't die.
Yeah.
And you in vain, at least he was working.
Yeah. I die, but I'm in the middle of something. I'm trying to get the shot. You die.
I didn't even have to be here.
Just you're going like this out of the plane. You fall out.
Michael doesn't wear his Rolex Datejust on those shoots. He wears other watches. So I'm glad when you wear your Datejust. You bought this watch for me years ago.
I did, yeah. When I finished my first short film, feature film.
That's my only real story I have. And there's a voice crack right there.
I'm wearing a Tudor. Again, we talked about this last episode. This is like as close as you can get to like the original Mount Everest watches. This is available in the Theo and Harris Watch Shop. It is a gorgeous Tudor. It is a real Explorer. It's original stuff.
Yes.
It's a significant watch. Under $3,000. You really cannot beat this watch.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So, great. Let's talk about...
Artisans De Geneve?
Yes. So Artisans De Geneve is a company, I imagine they are based in Geneve, which is in Switzerland, Suisse. And they do, I believe, vast majority Rolex. They do custom Rolex work, but not custom in like the Bamford way where they just recolor something. I mean, they do heavy work.
It's artwork, the best of the best.
Skeleton dial, it's just everything, top to bottom, they overhaul these watches. They make them, in my opinion, some of them are absolutely insanely beautiful.
Including this one.
I would definitely buy an Artisans De Geneve watch.
Yeah.
That being said, they are, I mean, I don't know how much they all are, but I've seen a couple of them like around $100,000.
Yeah.
And there are many watches I would buy before I bought an Artisans De Geneve.
Yeah.
Like, many.
Price on this one, for them to do the work with the watch provided, they said they estimated around $30,000.
Okay, so $30,000 in custom work, and you have to get a Daytona, which you can't get, so you're going to pay probably $30,000 for the Daytona. So the watch is $65,000.
But what's weird is like $30,000 is a lot of money, but I thought it was going to come in a lot more.
For the work?
Yeah. For the work.
Well, they're not really doing a lot.
That's the thing, like the way
they're recoloring it, right?
The way the article's written, they sourced like the best of the best people and asked them about the color blue and stuff.
Out of here.
I'm
a marketer.
It was even like I was like, "There's no. Who did you call?
Yeah.
What blue expert?
We called the Smurf colony to tell us
exactly.
What out of here.
It's like no, it's just a color combination.
Meanwhile, they're sitting at home like, we really did call the Expert Blue Foundation.
There's one guy like Robert Blue in the corner.
He's kidding me. He's trivializing my entire career.
His entire house is blue.
Think about it. So they recut the case,
They
right?
recut the case. They recut all the dials. They colored everything and. The most beautiful part of this article was the fact that the customer wanted the watch to look vintage through shades of blue.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Such a cool way of saying that. So if you're looking at this watch front on, you see obviously the subdials are all a lighter shade of blue acting as that patina. And then the actual dial itself is a dark blue, acting, typically as what a black dial would be, but a little lighter than a super dark navy blue. The rotor's like a really dark blue, but yeah, really, obviously for $30,000, you'd hope it would be nice. Yeah. But I love that sentiment of I want it to be vintage through the color blue, not through yellow.
I think it's a very cool idea. I'm a fan of the company. The question really is to you guys, for $65,000, are you buying this watch? Mm-hmm. And if not, which watch are you? Let's say you have to blow $65,000 right now. Mm-hmm. What are you buying?
Yeah.
And you used to be able to get a platinum Daytona for $60,000. Not anymore. I believe that they're kind of like 90 or 100 now. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I like that better. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just like precious metal watches.
Yeah, of course.
But you can also, I would go Lange, as you guys know. I'm a big Lange 1815 chrono guy. I wouldn't get a vintage Daytona. Plus, you really couldn't. Vintage Daytonas are more expensive than that now.
Right.
But yeah, listen, it's a very cool way. It's a very cool and unique way, and it's a beautiful way to spend the $60,000 in watches.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Mm-hmm. You can't really compare it to a platinum Daytona. I mean, that's a mass-produced, handmade, but no, it's kind of a mass-produced thing.
It is, yeah.
This is meticulous detail. This is a lot of time.
Mr. Blue, Robert Blue.
Yeah, Robert. They called Robert Blue.
They called Robert. He never gets a call anymore.
Yeah.
What's interesting though, which I'll ask you just a super rapid-fire question, is modding a watch in general to this level. Yeah. It's, I think, looked upon as like, oh, cool. Yeah. But anything sub that, I feel like it's very in the watch community like, don't do that.
Oh, I love modding. I don't take this very seriously. Like, I think it's cool.
It's style.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's an aftermarket bezel. I'm like, and? It's cool.
Yeah.
It's $100 bezel.
It looks like a ghost.
That looks awesome. It's just not for me. Like, yeah. And then there are certain things that do matter a ton. Like, to me, Rolex bezels are not inherently like. You're not buying a lesser quality thing. It's aluminum bezel.
Right.
It's painted. Mm-hmm. You want to spend $3,000-$5,000 and risk scratching it, or do you want to get an aluminum bezel? Assuming you're comparing apples to apples color wise, right? Mm-hmm. Then is wearing a aftermarket bezel the same thing as wearing a fake watch?
Right.
I don't think so at all.
I don't think so at all. Yeah.
I think that it's modded. It's cool. I would mod my Rolex in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I have my Rolex Datejust on a Cyclopsless crystal.
Yeah.
That's a mod.
Yeah.
No problem.
Modded.
No problem. I love mods.
I knew the answer. I just had to get you on that.
Yeah, I'm a big mod guy.
He's a big mod guy.
Not blue.
Now it's blue.
But yellow.
Together they make...
I don't know.
Really?
Blue and yellow?
Green.
I don't know that.
Really?
Who the f*** are you? How about I write a book about all things you don't know?
He didn't...
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you actually do know?
No, I don't know.
You didn't have that class in like preschool where they were like, this and this makes this.
I probably had it. I was probably
hitting
on Jordan Smith.
I can't believe that. That is hysterical.
I don't know.
Do you know what color red and purple make? I mean, I gave away the answer to the question.
Pantone jerk off. Fucking ass. Fucking embarrass me in front of my community.
My
show you.
God.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, anyways. Yellow dials. What do you think?
So, fuck you. Okay. I'm embarrassed. What do I think? I love it. I love yellow. I think it's very cool. The first photo in this article is it was the Stella and then the OP. I love this stuff. I like to have fun with watches.
Yeah,
that's it. Mm-hmm. I don't really wear colors. Yeah. I wear blue. I love bringing out the color in watches. I think it's fun. Mm-hmm.
I totally agree.
So blue, like a crazy blue, like the FP Journe chronometer blue, right?
Yes.
Rolex with the yellow Stellas and the green Stellas. That's amazing. I love that like crazy Kelly green Stella. Mm-hmm. I would love a green 911, right? Yep. I just love that stuff.
The green 911 is
it's amazing.
Crazy.
It's a total power move, right? Yeah. So when Rolex released the OPs, which I did. Just to show you guys, it's not an insider game. Like, I'm on the list for 2 OPs, and I've been given none of them.
Oh, 2?
Yeah. Oh. I'm on the list for the coral. I'm on the list for the yellow.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry, the green.
And which
coral
one?
Coral and green, both 36.
Nice. And which one are you gonna wear?
What?
Which one will you wear?
What do you mean?
Well, because the other one, I'm assuming you got.
What do I think about yellow? I love it in Rolex. The Dox is cool. I think the yellow and black go together really, really poorly.
Yep.
I think that's an ugly combination.
That looks like a work watch that you take off when you're done with work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because Doxes are also huge. That's a huge watch.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Next.
But underwater, I think red is the last color that leaves the color spectrum. So you can dive, well, this is yellow, but you can dive deeper with it before it fades to nothing.
Is that true?
Yeah.
See, that's too much yellow.
Yeah. Well, Hublot, well, surprise, surprise, they did a little too much of something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But my all-time favorite, in this list, that Ming watch, I think looks really nice.
See, that's not enough for me. That's not enough color for me to be interested in. It's cool.
Yep.
But that reminds me of it is neither hot nor cold, it is lukewarm. So I spew it out of my mouth.
I can see that. What really gets me though is the texture. I was like, okay, you really went for just like
it's a honeycomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you really went for it. You didn't like it's not a nickname we give you.
See, I don't think that's cool though.
Really?
I think that's appropriation of the bee kind. And the bees should have a say in that. That money should be probably donated to the National Federation of
well, cut out the national, just donate it to your local beehive.
It's great.
Just kind of directly to the bees.
Just give the money to the bees.
Put $100 in a beehive and see what happens.
See what happens.
Before you know it, the whole colony's blooming.
Yeah.
I can see.
Bees are notoriously bad with money.
that's what's holding them. That's why they're going extinct. Actually,
they wouldn't do well with it.
No.
You know what it is? I've seen this before.
Yeah.
They go buy junk food. They buy. They blow it. They're not thrifty people. They don't subscribe to bourgeois values.
Yep.
They suck.
And they won't break 100.
Right. You know what? Forget it.
And then this Bulgari.
That's horrible. Again, black and yellow. It's a bee. It's what a bee does. I don't get that. I mean, let's make this conversation about OPs and Stellas because everyone else. The OPs and Stellas are fantastic. Watches are a great way to kind of like. Just to have a little bit of bright fun in your life. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool. I love the green. I mean, I still regret not buying a Hulk. I don't know why I didn't buy one. It's just a cool watch.
I was with Christian as a guy was wearing a Hulk, and the guy's like talking, and as the guy's talking, Christian just kind of gives me an aside and goes, I really like that watch.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, right. I don't
I'll
care.
Probably be getting one.
Yeah. I don't care. I like your watch. Yeah. Le Verdict, yes, yellow watches are awesome.
Yes.
Comment your favorite yellow watches down below.
Comment your favorite yellow watches.
I hate YouTubers. like
Says
comment,
two
hashtag.
YouTubers.
I'm not a YouTuber.
I am.
I'm a guy who does videos on YouTube every once in a while. It's you guys I love.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is we were on a shoot the other day for Grand Seiko and we were at the beach and this used to really drive me nuts, and now I just laugh at it. But when people, third parties, citizens of America, when they see us or they see me or whatever doing a video, I am embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
Because these people are walking by and they're like, oh my God, look at these losers.
They're high school students.
Look at these high school students making a video that no one's going to watch.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, oh my God, they're looking at me. I start sweating. I get clammy.
Like,
I could skip school. My hands are so clammy.
Yeah, they're like, a Rolex Datejust is overpriced.
I'm like, oh my God. It's like it's always very uncomfortable, and then I feel like, well, the company does well. Like, I shouldn't be embarrassed. But every time it's brutal, and then I want to make a point to talk in front of them about how successful. Buy more stocks.
Michael, gather the G.
Gather the G-Wagon. Yeah. Okay, before we get into the conversation about or the story, how I got stolen, I got robbed.
You got stolen?
I got stolen. Let's talk about a couple watches before we get into the robbery story.
Deal.
2 watches, 1 Omega, 1 Chrono Swiss.
Yep.
The Omega is fantastic. This is a navy matte dial with this like total like a curved. Crystal. It just looks amazing.
The dial looks curved too.
Yeah, the dial does look curved. That probably is a little bit. And the white indices. The white hands. Yeah, beautiful watch, right?
Yep, I absolutely love that. That is a watch that in the prior video we talked about Singer making dials for Rolex. This looks like a dial that they were selling, like very minimalist, strong color choice. Little bit of textured dial.
Absolutely gorgeous dial.
Mm-hmm.
I love this watch. And again, around $2,000, and you get more value in this watch than 90% of what's available on the market. And it's just a lovely, lovely piece.
It's the contrast that gets me. The white the white hand in the blue. That sticks out immediately.
And good luck finding these. I mean, you just don't find these watches. They were made, very sparingly.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to find, especially in condition like that.
Yeah.
Now, this is a total different thing. This has got nothing to do with that watch. This is a modern watch manufactured in the 90s. This is a skeleton triple calendar chrono Swiss chronograph. This is nuts. Total different way.
Yep.
I mean, ornate and complicated, but again, dollar for dollar for what it is. It's not a vintage watch, but this is freaking insane cool.
It really is.
I love it.
Coinbase integrated bezel.
Yep.
Automatic. And also,
it's kind of big. Like it's not like huge and unwearable, but it's got a lot of body.
Yeah.
Like modern watch people could definitely wear, and even I as a vintage, I think it's 39 or 40 millimeters.
And the nice thing is it's an actual skeleton chronograph. It's not close to an actual. It's not like the screws are painted. They're actually blued steel.
Yeah.
It's actually what it is. Because at that price range, or there, what you see a lot is it looks like one, and it is one, but it's not 100% one.
Yeah, this is a lovely watch. Both of these watches are available in the Theo and Harris watch shop. So is this Tudor that I'm wearing. This is fun. My life talking about watches, so let's do this more often, shall we?
Yes.
Great. So, speaking of vintage watches, I started Theo and Harris back in 2015, and I started with $9,300. And in the beginning, I didn't know where to buy. I didn't have any contacts. There were no references. I didn't know what I was doing. So, and by the way, this whole thing where we tell these stories, I'm not going to be talking about names. I'm just not. It's going to open up cans of worms and things that have been since, quote unquote, forgotten. Not that I would ever deal with these people again, but whatever. So anyway, you're buying blind in many ways, and I really recommend people don't buy blind. I bought an Omega Ranchero. Now, Omega Rancheros are very, very cool watches. The case was beautiful. The dial had patina. I think I paid $3,100 for the watch at the time. And again, I started with $9,300, so this is a third of all the money I had.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I could flip this watch, I could probably get around $3,500 to $4,000. So I'd make between $500 and $900 on the watch.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, this is a great opportunity. Now, when the watch was offered to me, the hands were repainted. And they were done sloppily, right? So I said to the seller, who at this time, he was 14, but very young, ridiculous, who buys a watch from a 14-year-old,
right.
but at the time was popular. Not anymore, but at the time popular. So I said, hey, I want the watch, but I need correct hands. How much more money would they be? So what he should have said was, hey, honestly, I can't source hands. It's as is. Move on. What he said instead was, I can get you the hands for $200. I'll get them for you, but it's going to take about a month. But you got to take the watch now.
Okay.
So I said, okay, great, let's do that. So now I did not buy an Omega Ranchero, for $3,100 with bad hands. I bought an Omega Ranchero for $3,300 with correct hands.
Correct.
Right. There you go. Now a month. Now he and I at this time were friendly or whatever. We were texting. I thought that I was not going to get robbed. Whatever.
Yep.
A week passes. A month passes. 2 months pass. This went on for 5 months. Right. And throughout, I wasn't reminding every day, but I'm reminding once a week. Hey, by the way, dude, that's enough. Cut bait. Give me the money back. Let's just forget about this deal. Whatever.
Right.
You couldn't come through on the hands. To which he basically, now the contract starts to change. Well, dude, you took the risk. No. I didn't take the risk. You were sourcing the hands. Right?
Yeah.
It's well, why were you making calls around looking for hands then? I said, well, because you asked me to help you. I'm happy to help. I wasn't lounging.
Yeah, right.
So push came to shove, and he basically said, go f*** yourself. That's it. Lose my phone number. You're out. Right? So now I went to people in the watch community and said, hey guys, can someone be an intermediary here? Can someone mediate this situation? This is wrong. And this kid just stole from me. To which everyone, which I wouldn't do, but all these people basically said, yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you. And I said, that's bad. How is that your behavior? That's bad. You're an adult. You should be able to step in here.
You're also 19?
I was 19.
So you're also a kid.
I was also a kid. Yeah. And they were all like, nah, it happens sometimes. So I was really disgusted with that level of that sort of behavior, because I wouldn't have done that. I would have helped the kid. I would have stepped in to some degree. Yeah. So it continued to go on. I wasn't going to lose this money. So I figure out that in the state of New York, I believe it was under $5,000, it's classified as a small claim. Yeah. I go and I serve this person, and I actually serve his grandparents, because he lived with his grandparents. You
Wow.
know? Serve, we get a court date. Now it's my time to present in court. Right? I'm representing myself. 3 things. 1, I didn't know an attorney that was barred in the state of New York at the time. 2, I didn't. It wasn't enough money for an attorney to even come do it. 2, and number 3, I thought that maybe bringing an attorney would look bad. Maybe bringing an attorney would make it look like I was guilty, and now I'm trying to throw money at this problem. I didn't know.
Okay.
I said, let me represent myself. So I go into court. My dad's in the room. He's sitting in the back, and this kid, who again was underage, so I had to serve both he and his mother, who were all living at the grandparents' house.
You're serving dishes, dude.
Oh, I'm serving dishes.
Yeah,
you
dinner,
know,
lunch, and breakfast.
serves a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so we get to the court, and his mom is there, and I said, okay, an adult is in the room. Maybe this will be better.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was this a show? Big surprise. So if you're familiar, again, I'm not an attorney, but you know, I'm familiar enough with common logic that courtroom decorum is very important, right? Being polite to the judge, speak when you're spoken to, you know, not when you're not, you know, things like that. You have respect for the environment in the court, right? For the judge. This woman did not. She starts yelling. So the judge is, how do you plead, whatever. And she goes, "This is a ridiculous accusation. This kid's an asshole and a scumbag, blah, 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 blah." And the judge is like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, right.
Sit down."
Right.
And the judge was having none of it.
So the kid didn't have a lawyer either?
No, it was just him and his mom.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So I came all prepped, right? Timeline of events, all my pieces of evidence labeled, Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, Exhibit 2A, like all of this stuff done. I did mock trial in high school, so in college, so I was really, really prepped, right? So the judge kind of like, he didn't give me an indication that he liked me too much. Like he was very
He wasn't like winking
neutral.
at you.
But at one point, he looked at my table and he saw everything, and he goes, "Sir, young man," and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can clean it up." And he goes, "What is it?" I said, "Well, this is my timeline of events, and he's like, "Impressive, move on," and I was like, "Yeah, and the rush, I mean, it was exhilarating, and so I'm in the court, and not only did I do great, they did horribly, right? And not only did they do horribly, but their decorum was horrible, right?
Yeah.
So the case was over. We're going to get the judgment in the mail, whatever, and I spoke to the judge, and you're not allowed to speak about the case, about the trial after it's concluded, but all I wanted to say to the judge was, "Hey, Your Honor, personally, I because of my business, I had to miss my last mock trial tournament of college this weekend, and this was kind of weird. Like, what a fateful thing! This was kind of like the end of my mock trial career, whatever."
Yeah.
So he was like, well, that's really. I'm glad that you did really well. Like, I'm glad that that was amazing. It was really, really cool of you. Like, I'm glad you're here. The mother heard me talking to the judge. You can't speak to him! It's screaming. Wow. And the judge went ballistic.
Really?
Threw her out of the courtroom, right? At the end of the day, I did win the judgment. Not only did I win the $3,100, but the judge also awarded me further damages because my money was tied up for a year. He awarded me interest.
Whoa.
And all of this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the kid finally messaged me for the first, unblocked my number and said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you this money, but I'm not going to pay your interest. So send me your address. I'll send you a check, or best of luck collecting." And if you're familiar with court, like it's very difficult to collect. The process is extremely. I'm actually suing someone right now in California, and it's very difficult. It takes time to collect. So I said, "You know what? The $200 in interest, just send me my $3,100 and we move on,
Wow.
But what an experience.
Wow.
What an experience.
Yeah.
Just a scumbag move.
Yeah.
So that's one of the stories.
And there are plenty more there are 2 more to come, at least.
Yeah.
Because you're doing one right now.
And I might get robbed.
I kind of hope you do.
Yeah.
That's it. Next time, I at least have a story I want to tell you about. I went to Sundance Film Festival.
I've always wanted to go to
I met a director that I really liked. I was really excited to meet. And I complimented him on his watch, and it was fake. I will tell you that story, yeah.
James Cameron?
Through an entire, I talked to the guy for an hour after that, so I'll tell you the story.
God. Yeah, fake watches make me very uncomfortable. There was an Italian dude that has a deli by me who always wore a fake Rolex Yachtmaster. And I used to cringe so hard at it because he was like, "You're the watch guy, right? Watch guy, right? Come on, look at my watch. Come look at my watch. You like my watch? Because Italian people are the worst.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
Yeah, you know. And I was like, dude, stop, like, because I'm gonna call you out. Like, I'm sweating.
Yeah, please stop, please
Hey,
stop.
douchebag.
Too
Oh, watch
sloppy,
guy.
too sloppy,
Oh,
too
watch
sloppy.
guy. Couple of bonbons and a juji fruit. But anyway, so that's it. So,
Anyways, that's it.